Hey guys, this is a video to help you with your homework for March 31st. So you have your notes over here that you should have gotten from the page, and then if you scroll down, you have two questions that you then have to graph. So I have a problem over here that we're going to work through together using our notes, going step by step. Step 1 says use the A value to determine if the graph should open up or down. So remember, whenever we have a standard form equation, it always goes in order of A, B, C. So I like to first identify what my A, B, and C are to help me with this. So my A is right here. You only use the number, no letters. My A equals 2. B equals, pay attention to the sign in front, negative 16, and C equals 33. So, according to step 1, if my A value is positive, it will open up. If it's negative, it opens down. Well, my A is a positive 2, so I know my graph is going to open up. Step 2, find and graph the axis of symmetry using the formula x equals negative b over 2a. So, I'm going to go negative b over 2a. Negative b means the opposite of my b. My b is a negative 16. The opposite of a negative 16 is a positive 16 over 2 times a. My a is 2, so it's 2 times 2. You have to do the multiplication first on the bottom. 2 times 2 is 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So I get x equals 4. I can go ahead and graph this as my axis of symmetry. So on my 4, on my x, I can put a dotted line. Axis of symmetry means everything that I graph is going to mirror that line, that dotted line there. Step 3. Substitute your x from step 2 into your starting equation and simplify. This gives you the k coordinate. So now I'm going to take this equation, my original equation, and everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put this 4. So I have 2x squared. Again, for that x, I'm going to put a 4. And you always put it in parentheses whenever you plug something in. Minus 16x. Again, for that x, you put in a 4. Plus 33. Here we start with order of operations. I'm going to start with Pemdas. So inside of my parentheses. Well, inside my parentheses, I only have a single number. So there's nothing I can do with just a single number on the inside of parentheses. Next, I move on to exponents. I have an exponent right here, which is 4 squared. 4 squared gives me 16. And then I just bring down everything that I haven't touched yet. After exponents, I look for multiplication or division. I have two sets of multiplication here. I have 2 times 16. So 2 times 16 gives me 32. I also have this multiplication. Be careful of this sign. That is a negative 16 times 4, which gives me a negative 64. Now I'm still working order of operations. Now I'm looking for addition or subtraction. You have to do whatever one comes first, left to right. So now I have 32 minus 64, which gives me negative 32. And then I still have that plus 33. Negative 32 plus 33 gives me a 1. This now becomes my K. So notice, from step 2 I got my H. From step 3 I get my K. That is what makes my vertex. So I have 4, 1. The 4 came from above. I can now graph that point. So I'm going to go over 4, up 1. And I'm going to graph that. Let's change that color there. Over 4, up 1. So now if I look at this, I'm going to notice I've already determined I'm going to open up. And here's my vertex. If I'm going to open up, that tells me I'm not going to have any x-intercepts. Okay? So step 4, write down the y-intercept, which is your c coordinate. So right off the bat, I can look at this and say my c coordinate was 33, so my y-intercept is going to be 33. Unfortunately, this graph is kind of tough here because it only counts by ones going up. So what I'm going to do in this case, and this might be the case of having your paper at home, you might not have the best graph, you might not have graph paper, that's okay. We're going to do the best we can. I'm going to put a little line here, and I'm just going to put a 33. That's going to tell us that we know, hey, I don't have room, but there's my 33. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to mirror this point. So I'm going to use my axis of symmetry. And what I mean by mirror is from my axis of symmetry, if I move over 1, 2, 3, 4 to get that point, so I move 4 to the left, I'm also going to go to my axis of symmetry and move 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my other point. They have to mirror this axis of symmetry. Then you would do the best you can to connect these. There we go. Good enough. That would be my parabola. Okay, so you're not always going to have to do step 5. You only do step 5 if you're going to have x-intercepts, but since I did my vertex here and I knew it was going to open up, I know I'm not going to cross this x line, so there's no need to do step 5. As long as you can get 3 points on your graph, you're going to be fine. So find your vertex, do your y-intercept, then mirror that point, and then you can be done. All right, guys, have a great day.